There was a birthing scene in a movie last night. This girl screaming, ah, ah. Caden walks out. He's like, what is going on? I'm like, you wouldn't understand it. It's art. Oh, on that note, welcome. No, you want to do it?
Welcome to TalkBox. Welcome to TalkBox. Yeah. Welcome to TalkBox.
TalkBox. Is it the TalkBox or TalkBox?
No, it just has to be TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox.
Okay.
TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox. TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox.
Okay. It can be loose. It can be free.
Okay. TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox.
Okay.
TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox.
This is
TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox. TalkBox.
TalkBox?
TalkBox. This is TalkBox.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Not
That's pretty
bad
good.
at all. Yeah.
Boom.
Right there.
This is TalkBox.
Oh, are we going to have an actual logo now?
Look at that logo.
Oh, it's there right
Yeah.
now? Like as
Yeah.
I'm talking, the logo's there?
Oh, sure, I'll put it. Yeah, I'll put
Yeah,
it.
so like just leave it there. Let it hang.
Yeah,
Let it
yeah.
levitate or something. Float around. How good are you at graphic design? Can you have it do things? No, you can't do that. You don't know how to do that. If you want to replace Machi on this podcast, please send an email.
Please. I've been wrestling with this actually, the idea of like motivation. And obviously this is something we wrestle with all the time. Oh
Yeah.
my God. But like, I know that I need to do something.
Mhm.
And it's something that I want to do,
Yeah.
but I don't want to do it.
You're scared to fail. See, that's why we only succeed.
Ridiculous. No, it's just like something I want to do, but it just doesn't happen. I'm in like a very exploratory phase right now.
Mm-hmm.
I bought that photo book recently.
Yeah.
Very nice. Daido Moriyama.
Yeah. It's inspiring.
Very nice. That one too. David Campany on photographs. If you're looking into photo books.
Do people make money off those?
Very much. Yeah.
A lot of money?
That was
Make a living off
that
that?
was not a cheap book. Guess.
$80.
It's so messed up.
What?
It's so messed up. When something is not cheap, but you overguess the price. So in reality, the price, which is lower than the amount that you just guessed, doesn't look as much. It doesn't sound like as much as it is.
We just have different relative
because-
values of expensive.
I think it was 50.
I mean, books are like $20.
Yeah.
So $50. Yeah, that's an expensive book.
It's an expensive book. It's a very nice book.
Yeah.
Should I show it? No.
No, they don't deserve it. This is TalkBox. Today, what are we talking about, Machi?
I thought I would just freeball it.
Mm-hmm. Having a hard time?
In life. Oh, in coming up with a concept? Yeah. Dude, I had some good ones earlier. Narg woke me up.
Why the f do you always hold that thing so weird?
Narg
Why can't you
woke
just
me up.
hold it like an apple?
What do you mean hold it like an
Like
apple?
an apple.
How are you holding that?
Yeah, just like that.
No, that's
You're
not.
holding it by like the edge of like it's so
I don't.
unbalanced in your hand.
I need to like. It's like a thing, you know. Like,
Okay, go ahead.
why do you always insult me?
I don't.
It's
insult
actually
me.
crazy.
You insult
You have
me.
such a massive ego. What happens when you put two people with massive egos in the same room on the same podcast?
Gold.
Oh man, let's do a little recap. We'll see if we fly off anywhere.
This week, actually,
Yeah.
I talk about this literally every week. I met with a new person, and
oh my god.
it was a really exciting meeting. It was someone that I hadn't seen in like, I'm 26. It's someone that I haven't seen in like 19 years. So I was like 7.
Wow.
And they had not recently actually, they had built a creative career over a long period of time and are now very successful. And he was a friend of my parents when I was growing up, and he helped out my parents. My parents helped him out, and he found out after such a long time of not seeing him, he found out that I do something like audio engineering, and he's in the creative field. So it was just, he was so excited to hear that I was doing audio engineering. I ended up meeting with him, and we had a really good conversation. We're very, very similar, and he was a very warm, kind, genuine person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just really excited to talk to him and see what comes of that. I have him as a mentor. So that was a really, really big high point in my life, because he was telling me along the things like I know what it's like being in your shoes,
Mm,
potentially worse, like being engaged or, like
mhm,
in the same situation I am in now,
mhm, mhm.
only basically being engaged, trying to get married. And and he's like, I know what it's like to be in your shoes. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. It's a he's like, looking back at it, all those bad moments, they prepare you for your biggest moments. And it's a huge, huge patience thing. Like, you're gonna sit there and be like, why the fuck am I doing this right now?
Yeah.
Why the fuck am I doing this? Like, I want to be, let's say, like, I want to be an audio engineer. I want to make music. Like, why the fuck am I recording a interview or um why am I doing audio
Audiobook.
for audiobook? I was
Yeah.
just about to say, why am I doing audiobooks? Right? But all those things play a very small piece in the puzzle.
Mm.
You learn something from everything that you do. Even if, first of all, I don't think this is the only lesson you can learn from doing one thing. Like, if you do audiobooks, you're not only going to learn that you don't want to do audiobooks. You know what I mean? There's like a
Yeah.
lot of procedures and the way that you operate on a professional level with different companies. You learn a lot.
Mhm.
And I've seen it, so it's like patience and everything will come in the right time. But it's honestly sad how, and I emphasize this every week
Mhm.
about how and I feel like a broken record, and maybe I'm getting boring on the podcast already, but it's really who you know. And the person
Yeah.
who didn't know anyone, who now knows a lot of people, will say the same thing. The person who has never met anyone and is not getting anywhere will say the same thing. And every single person I've talked to, it's like who you know, the connections you make. It's not how good you are.
Yeah.
It's just not, like, obviously there's anomaly. There's people who, like, but most of the times, like, who you know. Even if you came from nothing and you could have engineered one artist that ended up blowing up, and that was the person you knew, and now you have huge connections to a bunch of people. Like, it's just crazy.
Mhm.
It's honestly insane how people focus their attention sometimes just in the wrong direction.
Do you feel like this connection will lead to fruitful endeavors in your life?
I try not to think of people as avenues of success,
Mm.
because you'll be disappointed. You'll be
Sure.
very disappointed in the outcomes. If you fantasize
Yeah.
about outcomes in your head, it'll never be the way that it actually turns out. So I'm more so excited to have this person just in my corner because they're such a good person, and to, like, be able to offer me advice and offer me direction when I feel like I'm the most lost, because they've been in that same situation.
Yeah.
So obviously, I meet other people and I try to help them out. They try to help me out. It's sort of just like a give and take. You have to be able to help other people as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just a one-way street a lot of the times. But yeah, like, it's exciting to see what comes in the future of all the people that we've met. I mean, we are embarking. Why don't we talk about that? We're embarking on a new
Can I say
piece of
something
the
first?
journey.
Can I say something first?
Yeah.
In regards to what you said, this may be a little negative, but
Sure.
there's something about when you meet people and the connections you make, especially if you're doing a favor for someone,
Yeah.
or you're helping them out in some way, or you're working for them. They will make promises, just out of nowhere. It's something that I
Yeah.
notice a lot in LA, where someone will
Not
be
an
like,
LA thing. Human thing. I hate it when people say that. It's so LA. It's not LA.
Sure. But I guess the thing is, I have not done any creative endeavors
Yeah.
outside of LA. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, like, I'm connected with these people. I'll hire you for this or something.
Yeah.
Or like, like, I've had someone say, like, I'm not just saying this. I'm not just hitting you with this empty promise. And then they proceed to hit me with an empty promise.
You have to follow up with those people though. You're not following up with them. I know you. You're not texting them. I'm like I'm not chasing them, but, like, I'm following up texts. If they ignore me, then I don't follow up again. But I'm following up with people.
Sure.
And people who I reach out to, and people who reach out to me, you don't, like, they'll be like, oh, we should hang out soon. Like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Hit me up again and then let's hang out. I'm not going to fucking chase after you and say, yeah, I really want to hang out with this random person. No, I have texted people multiple times without them answering. I know it's all love. They're just like, forget to answer. And usually that's the case. It's like they're super busy. They forget to answer. Same as me. And a week, 2 weeks goes by and you don't realize that you haven't answered this person. So I agree with you. There are a lot of empty promises, but if you follow up, they're not empty promises. You know, they're only empty promises if you haven't done anything about it.
Right.
Because you'll never see the end of it.
That's good. That's good.
It's not that good.
What?
No, because it's also a good way of weeding out who's full of.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like you'll know for sure who's full. You really shot. At least you'll feel like you shot your shot. You did the best that you can for that situation, and that's it.
Yeah.
But if you didn't, you'd be like, I should have texted them. I should have not. It's gonna eat away at your mind, and then you're gonna be just frustrated with yourself and other people. But yeah, don't have expectations.
Sure.
Yeah, don't look at people as avenues of success because they're ultimately also just doing it for themselves. Like people want to succeed and help others succeed. But if they haven't reached where they want to be, they're still trying to make themselves succeed. You know what I mean? You're secondary to themselves.
Yeah.
It's selfish but normal, you know, like everyone has bills to pay and people to look out for.
Sure. You were saying, our new endeavors.
Yeah, but I wanted to get your thought on that idea of like the connections that you have made,
Sure.
the friends and whatever you've made. How often do you go out of your way and follow up with those people?
Rarely.
Yeah.
Rarely. Very rarely.
And nothing comes of it, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, no one will ever just randomly hit you up. Be like, oh yeah, I forgot to hit you up.
Right. It's true. It's true.
We just had this is equivalent of a full ayahuasca ceremony, revelation.
Well,
epiphany.
I think the issue, I mean, like, the issue is that I just don't want to speak to people.
Yeah. I have that feeling too sometimes.
But I think me more so than you because, like,
Yeah, of course.
I'm really in my introvert phase right now.
A lot of movies.
A lot of movies. A lot of movies. My life is just my Letterboxd account. Follow me on Letterboxd.
Obscure Machi.
I think it's Obscure Machi or Obscure Asian or something. One of the two. Oh, man. My Letterboxd is really something. But, yeah, you know, like, I know sometimes it's hard to look and, like, think about all of the connections I've made and like how to reach out to people and like if I want to reach out to people and then I think what am I really doing here and then like what's the point of any of this and then like
defeated
and I spiral
mentality.
and then I spiral.
Yeah, it's easy to convince yourself of that too. You know, I do the same thing with like things that I like cheat on, like food or something. I'd be like, oh, it's just a snack, and like,
Yeah.
I want to wake up early, and like, fuck it, there's nothing to do in the morning. You just convince yourself immediately that there was nothing to do that morning. You could have exercised.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you'll consistently convince yourself, like a demon speaking to you about like all the things that you shouldn't do because it's the easy way out. And I feel like the thing that I set forth for 2024 for like being more disciplined, as soon as I have that feeling of that kind of thought, I do the exact opposite. Immediately, I'll just do the exact opposite.
That's
of what I
very
felt.
David Goggins of you.
Is it?
Yeah.
My king.
As soon as I feel sad, I turn around.
No.
I turn around. I've never been happier.
No, not that kind. That's I haven't reached that kind of awakening yet. That's my final form.
It's like I don't feel sadness. I just drive. Like, something fucking crazy like that.
That's funny.
No, but I have something that a connection who has helped me in the past and got me work with successful people.
Right.
Hit me up yesterday and was like, "Hey, what camera do you have?" I was like, I have a Sony A7 IV. He's like, could use your help on this shoot. I was like, why? He's like, we need an AB cam. I was like, okay, so you just want to use my camera. So I'm just a glorified rental to you.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what?
But all those come to something, you know
like,
what I mean?
yeah, he's a cool guy. I like working with him. I think right now my biggest apprehension is that I don't want to drive to Hollywood.
That shouldn't be.
I know. It's messed up. It's messed up, really. I'm not kidding. Like, this is me pulling back the veil. It's like, I really was like, it's so easy for me to say no. It's so easy for me to say no. It's so easy for me to just be like, I'm doing a photo shoot. And then I sit here and I photo shoot my eyeballs on the TV when I watch a movie. But, it's easy for me. And that's hard. I just don't know how to get myself to just
Just say yes.
to just say yes. I mean, I did say yes.
Yeah.
I did
I'm
say
just
yes.
saying, like, it's
But
literally
yeah.
like say yes and figure it out later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do that too sometimes. Like, I got a gig that I am not equipped to do, but I have the ability to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just said yes and I'm figuring it out. And a lot of the times that's what it is, but you have to have the ability to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't solely have the ability to do it, but if I can hit up different people to help me out with this gig. It's like a big live event.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what I'm gonna do. But I don't necessarily, if someone says no, I have to figure something else out. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a huge responsibility. It's the same thing. Like, when opportunities come around, say yes. If you're not screwing someone over based on time limitations. And figure it out for yourself and make that opportunity available to you. Yeah.
Okay, do you want to move on to studio?
Yeah. I also want to talk about that producing thing, that thing that I realized in the car. We could talk about the studio though.
It's up to you.
Yeah, we could talk about the studio. So recently, me and Machi invested in ourselves recently. Not recently. Me and Machi invested in ourselves
For the
recently.
first time ever.
Me and Machi invested in ourselves.
Never before this have we ever invested in ourselves.
Together. This is a
sure,
dual endeavor.
In a joint venture.
Yeah,
sure.
joint venture. Joint venture capitalist firm, basically.
Amen, brother.
We are going to be renting a studio space together.
Yeah.
So that is a really exciting thing. We're going to be moving out of the good old apartment. No, I'm joking. We still have our living situation.
This is nice. Look at this, huh? Sorry, keep going.
But we're going to be in a studio room together. One piece of it is going to be dedicated to my mixing and recording with the artists that we work with. And then the other half is me, Machi's office space for video editing, photography. And I think also the apprehension was that we had to spend a little, we don't have that much extra money to spend, right? Every month. Like, we have our bills, we can pay them and everything's good. But spending even an extra 500, 600, whatever amount of money, that you spend on a rental space, every month, it changes the way that your expenses work. That, whether it's like less, like for example, it could be you're saving $600 less every month.
Yeah.
Even if you're making more, like if you save $1,000 every month, now you're saving only $400, which is like, it's important to some people,
Yeah.
So, but that being said, I feel like it's super necessary to make small investments and some big investments in yourself, like the microphones and whatever, right? Like, in order to professionalize your environment.
For me, the studio, in a sense, it's like spending the money, it becomes more serious. And like the fact that we are spending money.
You take yourself more seriously.
Because you have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
And also you're investing that money and you're like, okay, you need to make that money back every month in order for it to feel worth it.
This morning, I felt like a damn genius when you bought Narg texted me and he goes, spending a lot this morning because he bought 2 coffees and a acai bowl. And I went, you're going to have to offset that with success today. I was like, this is genius. This is every day. All we need to do every day is spend like $100. And then like,
we'll be millionaires by the end of the year.
You have to be forced to succeed. You have no choice. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Put your back against the wall.
Yeah. But I'm actually so excited. Not only that, but we talk about motivation all the time, and it's the fact that you can have someone next to you, because we're going to be there a huge chunk of the time, Monday through Friday. It's like it's going to be a lot of our hours, our free time is just going to be there basically all day. And it's being able to hold, especially since we work together on a lot of stuff, it's like being able to hold each other accountable for laziness.
Yeah.
You can't be lazy in your apartment anymore.
Yeah.
I cannot doing anything in my house anymore. There's always going to be something to do.
Sure.
Especially with this podcast coming out, it's like there's always going to be videos and new content ideas and branding, a bunch of new stuff that we can be working on if we're in the same room together.
Yeah.
But if you're in a separate room from your business partner or whoever it is you work with, it's so difficult to be consistent with your work.
Yeah, not even just business partner, but like I noticed this in college, and I've also tried to get my roommates to do it here, which they ultimately did not do. Which is like I work better when people are around me because I'm inherently competitive and I inherently have to be the best. I am A1. Yeah. And so like when my roommates aren't working in here, when my roommates are working in here, I start working and then it's like, you know, like a little Kobe
Yeah.
Mamba mentality.
Mamba mentality.
Where I'm like, if you're working, I also have to work.
Yeah.
You know, but like if nobody else is here, then I can just be lazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's
actually-
exciting. I'm glad
Yeah.
you're excited because I'm nervous. I'm terrified.
I'm not nervous at all. I mean, the opportunity is cool for me too because I work with the owner of the establishment. So I also get to be like an A2 and an assistant.
Sure.
And work on other projects and record artists and stuff while being there. And my setup in that room is actually important because now I have like a full additional studio room to help out with the producer engineer. So it's like an overall cool experience for me, but also it's cool for you because a lot of artists want videography done. They want like, you know, like you could probably do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be super exciting for you to be able to take pictures of all these like, they're like all signed artists. You know what I mean? They're all signed artists. It's gonna be really fun, and we'll keep you updated on how it goes.
Yeah.
We probably won't reveal too much information about like names and stuff
I
like
wonder
that.
if
but
we'll be recording there.
Hmm?
This podcast.
What?
I wonder if we'll be recording this podcast there.
Yeah, we probably will.
Probably.
Yeah.
But it might look like it might look terrible.
Yeah, we'll do like one test episode,
Sure.
and then we'll have the viewers
And then
decide.
we'll-
The 6 people that watch the
Whoa,
YouTube
whoa,
video,
whoa.
we'll have them decide.
6 million
6
people?
million people that watch.
Okay, let's move on. Let's do a little break. A little
Sit in
break from the
silence.
talking.
Yeah, sit in silence. And we're back. And we're back.
No.
And
I want to
feel
do.
fucking
Let's do a bit.
energized.
Before the podcast. Narg was like, "Oh, we need to do fun stuff. We need to do fun things."
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, you literally did.
I said we have to be more fun because we're fucking to like motivate yourself.
It's f***ed up
fucking
because like
inspire yourself.
I can't be Mr. Motivation anymore. We need to be like real.
You guys should see us in the wild, man. We'll sit. We should just record ourselves sitting on the countertop and talking about things because that is podcast episode worthy.
How do we like do
We
that?
just
How do
just
do that?
commentate. We just commentate on things that are on our mind. We just judge things for like an hour and then we record the podcast.
Should we judge something right now? What do you want to do? You want to judge something?
I don't want to judge.
Can I say something first?
Yeah.
Man.
Go ahead.
Inspiration time. Again. Dude, so I watched Yee Yee. Did I tell you about this? I told you.
Yeah.
Man, so I watched another Asian movie.
Uh-huh.
The bar just keeps going up and up and up. I'm not kidding. I'm like, it's questioning everything in my life. So the Taiwanese family drama, Yee Yee,
Yeah.
the name of the movie.
Taiwanese. Great
This
food, by the way. The
mom,
Taiwanese.
I'm going to spoil it because you're never going to watch it.
No, I'll never watch it.
If you're going to watch it and you don't want to spoil it.
Close your ears. But
Close
keep
your
listening
ears.
because we need the.
Well, we need the.
So just fucking
just
close
mute
your
it.
ears.
Hit
Yeah,
M. Hit M to
yeah.
mute.
Or just if you're in the
but-
car, just lower the volume for.
This grandma goes into a coma and then
Mhm.
it like triggers this mom to like question her life.
Oh wow.
And
Beautiful.
she like the dad comes home, the husband comes home, and she's sitting there crying, and he's like, "What?" And she's
fuck's
like,
your deal? You're bumming me
she's
out.
literally she's having this existential crisis. She's like, "My life means nothing.
Uh-huh.
I am nothing. What the am I doing with my life?" And he's like, and she's like, "I can't talk to her because they're supposed to talk to the grandma to like stimulate her, senses or something."
Sure.
And she goes in there and she's like, "I can't talk to her. I don't know what to say. Like, I have nothing to say. I have nothing in my life worth doing
Read a
or worth
book.
talking about." And
Does she read a book?
so
I
then
read a book.
the husband goes, he like completely ignores what she's saying, and he's like, "I'll get the nurse to talk to her or something." And the wife fucking like loses her mind because she's like, "Asshole isn't even listening to me." But then she goes off to a Buddhist temple and she disappears for half the movie. But
Okay.
the important thing there is that I was comparing that to my life, and I was like, wow,
Similarities.
complete differences. Because like, we have something going for us, at least, and that's like, that's good. And it feels good to have something that's like, we're working towards something.
We cut this right here.
Mhm.
1 year from now, we cut this edit. And then it's a compilation of all our success. And then it's the next podcast
Dude,
episode.
it's like, you know what else I've seen recently?
What?
Dude, it actually pisses me off because New Year's is like 2 weeks ago or something.
Exactly almost 2 weeks
What
ago.
they do, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. It's been Tom Brady AI voiceover where he goes, "And with that, the 2023 season ends." And you know what I'm talking about? And then it like compilation. Nothing pisses me off more than that. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me.
But can we shit on people real quick?
I actually want to. I'm gonna bleep that.
You know,
I want to because I don't give a fuck about Tom Brady. I don't care about these edits, bro. Oh my god.
No, you know what else we should do?
What?
Just judge people right now.
Talk corner, bro.
Hear me out.
There's so many TikToks recently.
This will probably resonate. This might piss off 96% of the population on Instagram.
Targets on our back.
Let's say I'm a normal user of Instagram. I go through stories, I see posts.
Yeah.
But then on New Year's, you repost the everything you've done all year. Highlights of my year.
Yeah.
Who cares? Why do you need to show everyone all the cool stuff you've been doing all year? What purpose does that serve? What does that do?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Why are we reposting our entire year?
I don't know, dude. What do you mean? What bothers you about it?
It's selfish.
Selfish why?
Look at all the cool stuff I did this year.
You gotta give me more than that. Give me something. Why?
It's like I don't want to shit on too many people.
Shit on him. You know what's fucked up? You know what's really fucked up? I'll see one Instagram story.
Yeah.
And then I'll want to make a whole ass post calling someone out, but then they'll know I'm talking about them.
Yeah.
It's something so annoying.
But you know what it is? It's so many people that I just think it's funny how we see one person go like 2023 recap, and then 1,000 people post 2023 recap.
Listen.
I just don't understand. You know what it is?
Here's what I'm gonna do.
You know what? Let's get down. Let me get down to the point.
Okay, go.
I think it has to do with me not understanding why people post on social media if it's not for like business. Because I just think it's for, you're just looking for gratification from other people, and that will only lead to negative things in your life. I think it actually does people harm. To just post regularly and wait for people to either like it or like, you know, like it's like telling people that you volunteer. You know what I mean? Like the point of volunteering is not to tell other people that you volunteer.
Do you want me to play devil's advocate? I think that's something that I resonate with, that idea, which makes it so fucking hard to post. Yeah. It's like we're shooting ourselves in the foot with this mind, with like
I do too,
with like thinking that way. It's terrible. I have a friend, a family friend, who posts on Instagram. Her Instagram stories are hilarious. She has like 300 followers or something. Like, you know, she's not doing it for anyone. She's doing it because it's fun for her. Yeah. But for me,
I just don't.
I'm not kidding. It's like the highlight of my day, seeing her Instagram stories, and it's like, you know, if she were to just like not post those, then it's like.
What percentage of people do you think are doing it for that reason?
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
Like because they were having fun with it. Maybe
less than 5%.
5% less. Dude, but
I think it's like social media is an unhealthy platform, and I think it's so funny how there was an ad for an app. Pop filter. There was an ad for an app that is like, you want to make you're scrolling into micro learning or like that. You know what I mean? Or like ways to get off of your phone, but you're promoting it on social media.
Dude, none of it means anything anymore.
How do you promote on social media ways to get off of your phone? And I understand it's so people see it and then get off your phone.
Yeah.
But then you're not getting any there's no additional marketing after that if you're getting people to get off their phone. It's just so that people go to your page.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you know that they're never actually gonna get off their phone.
It's the same thing as the TikToks that were like, these were big like 2-3 years ago.
Micro learning. Also, micro learning is not a good form of learning. That means you don't have the patience to learn something in long formats. Then you're just inherently
Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do right now. You know what? Nuts on the table. Balls on the table. Turn off this podcast right now. Go read Marcus Aurelius Meditations. On God.
Can we cut that entire bit? I don't like that.
No,
I don't like
we're
being
saying
negative.
it. We are.
I don't like.
No, we're gonna do it.
I don't
We're
like
gonna do
being
it.
negative.
It's part of who we are. It's part of who we are.
The culture is so. It's so exhausting. It's so disgusting. And we're gonna post all this we have to post all this stuff on social media, right?
Yeah.
You have to be a part of the game so that we can do what we want, right?
Sure.
We want to post a podcast and we want to communicate. We want to be conversing with our community and build a nice community for people, but the whole social media thing is so toxic, and I'm not even in like the depths of social media. Some people are so deep. Sometimes I look at people's feed, I'm like, you are a hamster on a wheel right now, just going and going and going, and your brain is just fried. Oh yeah, I want to talk. Can we switch up? I want to talk about music.
Dude, we didn't even do the bit.
What bit?
We just started ranting on social media.
Yeah, we're probably gonna cut out the last 20 minutes.
Can I
It got me in this.
let's just name artists. Let me give you 3 artists.
Okay.
3 popular artists. Sure, let's just try it, right?
Sure.
3 artists that are popular right now, whether it's deserved or not.
Their popularity.
Yeah, they're popular.
Their popularity or the quality of their music?
The quality of their music.
You have to pick one.
What do you mean? I'm going to name 3 and you'll rank them.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Like 1, 2, 3, or I'm ranking this one's good, this one's bad, this one's good.
I just want you to speak on all of them equally.
I don't know that much about artists, so this is completely...
I know.
Yeah.
This is...
Just know that I'm lying.
Hit and run.
Yeah.
Okay. Drake. I can't name any other artists. I don't even know where we're going with this one.
I think...
Free balling it.
I think Drake is a great artist, and he...
I was looking to
It's
see
like
if I
it's
could
like
think of
insulting Taylor Swift. Like, it's dangerous territory. You know what I mean?
Sure. You know what? Drake and Taylor Swift.
Okay, Drake, I think, is a great artist personality, a great artist. He makes fun music,
Yeah.
and but it depends what you're looking for in music, right? If you go like Drake is the greatest artist of all time,
Sure.
be like,
We
well,
we
what
got
are we
into
qualifying as
we got
good
into
music?
a heated discussion with our friend the other day about this.
what are we qualifying as good music, right? Like,
Yeah.
is it challenging genres? Is it innovative music? Is it is it just what is good? What is that? What does it look like?
Sure.
I feel like his music, although sometimes pushes boundaries on certain genres, it's not a revelation towards that genre. If anything, he's like let's say he did something that's Afro beats. It's not the best Afrobeat music that is out there.
Sure.
Right? If he did hip hop, he might not be the best might not be the best hip hop records ever. So he's sort of in between pop and hip hop. And I think he's a great artist, great personality. He seems like a really cool dude also, which I admire because a lot of people are not very nice and aren't that respectable. So I think he's like a 9 out of 10 for the impact that he's had on music and on because I know that a lot of his early music is very different.
Pull back the veil. What do you think of him?
I used to be
Give
a
me the
huge hater.
unfiltered.
I used to be a huge hater.
Really?
Huge
Why?
hater. I just thought he was very irritating, and everyone would listen to him, and I just thought his music was irritating, and it wasn't. But then I sort of like pulled back all my bias in a moment of life where I had like less hate and like I was more sympathetic towards people and this and that. And I started enjoying his music just for the fun of it, and that's why I'm saying it's fun, is because he induces that kind of good-hearted, fun energy. And I think that's what's more important than arguing whether he's the greatest rapper or the greatest artist of all time, because he's not. Like, he's awesome, he's amazing, but like, I don't know if he cares to be the greatest rapper of all time, because he's doing like Afro music, he's doing R&B, he's doing hip hop, he's doing, he's like fusing all these genres. He's not trying to be the best rapper of all time. You know what I mean? Like, I think people take that a little bit too seriously. I don't know what you think. You said you had a really heated debate with someone
The other day, we were all speaking.
heated.
It wasn't heated. But
yeah, but he thinks he's a great hip hop rapper.
what he said,
I think
because it broke down to like he was talking on like what is art, or I was trying to get him to the base of it, and I was like, what is art? He's like, to be enjoyable. Art is made to be enjoyable, and I'm like,
but he comes from a very pure perspective. I feel like very unbiased.
I don't know how I feel about that, because like I don't think art is necessarily enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't. Okay, wait up. It doesn't necessarily have to be enjoyable to be art, but is good art enjoyable is the question.
But I guess the real question is, are you I guess not enjoyable, because it's enjoyable to consume art.
Right.
But the question is the most important emotion that you feel when you consume art joy? You know, because he was saying it makes you happy when you listen to it, when you listen to Drake.
No, I mean, you can experience
You know,
sadness.
I could be like the saddest human being on planet Earth.
And
when
so
I
you
listen to
resonate with something
and
in
you
that
resonate
emotion,
with
yeah.
it, and then it's like, it's, you know, it's better than Drake. But, you know, anyway.
Right. Well, his argument was also like just quality wise in terms of Drake's music. He loves Drake's music.
Sure.
Like,
I just
he
wanted
thinks
to
it's
speak
great
on
music.
the art perspective as well.
But then
yeah.
the bigger discussion at hand, he's sugarcoating this a little bit. The argument at hand was actually who is a better rapper, Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
No. The argument initially was, I asked him about what he thought of Drake, and then it was who's a better artist. Who's a better artist?
Right, and
Kendrick
then
or Drake?
I came in. I said Drake is a better artist. Kendrick is a better rapper.
Yeah, but then I don't agree.
Right, but I think being an artist is a Drake is a more successful artist. Like, he does the artist thing really well, but he's not. I don't think he's as good of a rapper as Kendrick.
But I think that's the issue, is that you're saying he's a good artist and he does the artist thing well.
But I think
what
artist is like
the
a
artist
personality.
thing? What is the artist?
The artist
thing,
is like
though?
a personality.
But in the definition, like, yeah, as a pop
singer,
star,
as a singer,
like as a rock star.
Yeah, but if we're talking artist as in like a creative, it's a completely different thing.
Artist as a musician, not
different.
artist as a creative human being.
I'm saying artist in the sense of like, because we always differentiate, like, there's so many good singers, right? But not every singer is a good artist. So I'm using it in that context, context, because it takes a lot to be, even though Kendrick Lamar is obviously maybe just as successful as Drake, right? It's like it just depends on the way that you define success. I mean, if you compare albums and whatever, right? There's like huge discussions online, I'm sure, about it that I'm not going to get into because I don't listen to either of their music. But I have a general understanding of it, right? And I think that if you were to compare the two at what they're the best at, the cultural impact that Drake has as an artist and his music is larger than Kendrick Lamar's. But I think the quality of Kendrick Lamar's music and the way he pushes hip hop and the quality of his music is better, obviously. And I'm saying this with you knowing that I don't like Kendrick Lamar's music. You know I don't like his music.
Yeah.
And I always say, it's just not for me. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate how good of an artist or how good of a, in this case, rapper he is, right? Or the quality of his productions.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think he's the greatest artist of all time.
Yeah, I know.
Put me down on there. Put me down.
Okay, what about T Swift?
Dude, I gotta be honest.
Be fucking careful with your words.
I don't know what it is. I have, and it's not even like an apprehension, but nothing has ever brought me, and I've communicated with you want me to keep going? Yeah. I've communicated with my siblings about this. My sister Casey's a big T Swift fan now. My
sister as well.
What's crazy to me, as someone who is a producer, who actively listens to music all the time, I have no desire whatsoever to listen to any Taylor Swift music. And it's not even that I think she's bad or that I'm uninterested in it. It's just that there's something about it.
Yeah.
I'm never looking up Taylor Swift to go check out her music.
I want to say I'm within the same realm, but I have grown up listening to a lot of her music.
I also did.
A lot of her music.
I also did.
My sisters from a young age, they weren't like obsessed, but it was just a regular thing that was on while we were listening to music.
Me too.
Yeah.
There was a point where I could recite We Are Never Getting Back Together, the entire song.
Wow.
I had it memorized.
Impressive.
That one, the other one too, You Belong With Me.
That's a great song.
With Taylor Lautner in the music video.
But
I don't think that's true, but
I think that I had the same conversation with my sister, and I said, you know, a lot of her music, it sounds the same to me. You know, like it's not necessarily repetitive, but it's within a similar structure. And then people will be like, have you heard her like pop 80s, this, that? Yeah, like I listened to some of it. I didn't think it was as well executed as other producers and stuff have done.
Sure.
In terms of 80s music or, you know, modern pop or old pop, whatever.
Jack Antonoff is very good though, the producer.
I'm sure he's super, not even about that. It's just about the way that it sat with her voice, the way the production worked.
Yeah.
I thought she was way better as like the songwriter vibe. I thought that was a lot cooler.
Yeah.
I resonated with that more.
Yeah.
And I have my own artists that I love that they'll have certain kinds of albums that I resonate with more. Other albums I'll openly say I hate those albums. And I still love the artist.
Can we do something real quick?
Okay. That point about Taylor Swift. What I found is that a lot of people resonate with the story that she has to offer in her music and the lyricism, because it's all based on true things that are very straightforwardly put in the music. And my sister was like, "Can you believe Jake Gyllenhaal did this?" I'm like, "What? Are we just listening to a song?" She's like, "This is about Jake Gyllenhaal. This is about John Mayer. He was such an asshole," or whoever it is. I don't know the exact stories, but it's like the albums are sequenced in this little storyline. She was 20 years old and he was this and they were doing that. And I was like, how the fuck do you know all of this? What forums were you on, dude? You know, it's like, it's just crazy. And I think people really, really like her songwriting and the way she tells stories. I think she's a great storyteller. That being said, does it mean like being a good storyteller, does that always equate in huge success? I think there's other great storytellers in music that are not as successful.
I think it's the same argument as Kendrick Lamar. But Kendrick Lamar's better. Put me down. Put me down.
Yeah.
Can we do something?
Yeah, do something.
30 seconds of a Taylor Swift song. A new one.
A new one.
Just to see.
I'm so down.
Just to feel it.
Yeah.
Just to feel something.
Let's put a couple. Let's just go through like her most recent, but she's releasing all her old music over again.
You know what? I legitimately props to her for it.
No, it's a really cool move.
I
respect that
I dig
a lot.
it. I respect it honestly.
But I'm saying I don't want to listen to her old music again. I want to listen
sure.
to like,
Yeah. I have heard that these songs aren't as good. Her version of 1989 specifically.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's hard to recreate the original.
I think, dude, it was like
it's hard to
Swedish
recreate
House
the original
Mafia
vibe,
or something had a hand in the production. Midnights.
That's
I think
new,
this
right?
is the one.
This is new.
This is the one.
Was it the 80s kind of thing?
Yeah. Should we
listen to a few? Just
you know
put a
what?
random song,
I know one. Wait. One. Random.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know
Random.
if I can
Shuffle.
random.
Put shuffle.
Oh.
So it's not influenced. Let's go to like a chorus kind of.
Wait. I just needed to hear that, how that resolved.
That's it. See, I listened to this and I was like, oh, it doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't
like
go
it doesn't
anywhere.
excite. Yeah.
Hold on.
It's fine.
Tell me that
like,
doesn't sound like GarageBand.
I was just about to say it sounds like GarageBand.
Wow, dude.
It just doesn't.
It's so. I feel like
It didn't
it
play into the genre.
As a person who listens to the music first and the lyrics second,
Yeah, I didn't even hear the lyrics, honestly.
it doesn't do anything for me. The melodies feel. You know what's crazy is
They feel very too
too
simple.
I know that Olivia Rodrigo has bidden. She's bidden melodies from Taylor Swift, but I think they sound better with Olivia Rodrigo.
Well, the edge that she has in her vocal performances is more suited for the genre she works in.
Yeah.
But I think Taylor Swift going into whatever this was, like I listened to a few songs like we're doing right now, you know, let me listen to it, you know, it's good to stay up to date with things, which I do all the time. And it just doesn't feel cohesive with the way that the instruments are playing. And usually like the 80s sound, it's like big sounds and vocals are inside, inside the sound. But this is like the vocals are forward and this huge production is laying in the background.
Yeah.
And it just feels very thin and absent.
How much of her success now do you think is built on her fan base liking her as an artist? Do you think
It's huge.
Do you think the music stands on its own?
Yeah, I do.
Interesting.
I think that being said, I think her music is very good. I think, like I said, I loved Taylor Swift's music growing up.
Yeah.
I listened to it. I wasn't a huge fan, but I knew all the lyrics to all the songs. Like they're catchy songs, you know, like being, you know, at the age I am now and going through all the experiences I had with music, I'm not at a stage where I listen to Taylor Swift and get the same enjoyment out of it than when I was like 12 or 13 and sisters, oh, you know, like fun songs, you know, whatever. I think a lot of her music stands on its own really well. There's something to say for really good songwriting and storytelling. I have the same feelings with folk artists or country artists. I don't know how people like to classify him, but Tyler Childers, who is my favorite songwriter, and he has some of the most moving music that I've ever listened to. And I could say this, well, his productions are very simple. Sometimes it's just a guitar and vocals, a little bit of reverb, and that's the whole fucking song. You know, and like his lyrics are so moving. The way he sings it, the conviction in his voice when he says the words, it's so moving that people put hours and months and hundreds of thousands of dollars into productions when this guy just has a guitar and a vocal in a big room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's completely, it's genre based, it's intention based. It's like there's so many things to consider.
Yeah.
With Taylor Swift, I feel like in terms of those songs that we listened to, maybe it didn't hit the mark, but overall, being a great person, being a great artist, being good to your fans, and having good music, those are things that she does excellent. And it's so hard to find people who do that regularly.
Yeah.
It's so fun to find artists that do that regularly, and we have that same experience hearing like, only if they put more effort, only if they weren't like this, only if they didn't have that about them, like that holds them back as being a great artist.
Yeah.
A lot of them are not nice people.
We just touched.
We can touch.
Wow, your hands are so cold.
I'm sweating though.
Whoa.
I know my hands get cold.
If you hearing the Taylor Swift songs that we did, and you are upset of the way that we've judged Taylor,
we didn't judge Taylor.
let us know of some Taylor Swift songs to listen to.
No one can doubt Taylor's success and her talent.
Sure.
But maybe we should do a little.
I can judge her talent, maybe not her success. I think she's very successful, and I respect.
I mean,
it.
we can do like a little like listen along and do an episode about the whole. We can listen to her older music, her more modern music, and see the differences. And that would be like that'd be too much, man. That's too much Taylor Swift.
Yeah, what's crazy is that I have now in my head, we are never ever ever getting back together. I have it stuck in my head right now.
Talk to my friends, talk to your friends, talk to me. But
man, I guess overall, just as we continue to explore, a creative. A career in music.
Yeah.
I find myself having such an interesting relationship with listening to music, and I feel like it's so much harder for me to engage in something and find it enjoyable. And I don't know if that's me growing up.
No, it's working with music all the time. It makes you like,
or if it's the quality of the music being released, or just like.
I used to say
you know what I mean?
I used to say, is it the quality of music being released? But I think it's just harder to find the music that you want to listen to.
Yeah.
I think it's just difficult because you run out of, because social media only pushes things that are popular, but it might not be the popular things that you find, gratifying and worth listening to. So it's really hard to find good music, which is why it's good to have a little community of people recommending music to you.
Yeah.
Which would be cool if you guys want to recommend music and we listen to it and give our thoughts on it for like half an episode or something. That would be cool. But that being said, we were just talking about production. I want to get into what makes a good production, right? I had this whole thing in the car. I had this whole thing in the car about production. I was like listening to really old cliche 2000s pop music. And one thing,
can you give me names? Britney Spears,
Vanessa Carlton, Britney Spears.
Vanessa Carlton.
Yeah.
Is that if I wait? No, that's.
If I could fall into the
La baby da baby da bum. La baby da baby da boo. Have you seen that?
Oh, Terry Crews, classic.
Yeah. There's a viral like 2015, like 2014. I was like playing the Xbox 360. My friends are just going la baby da bum, la baby da boo. And it's just like over.
It could be. It could Carly Rae Jepsen. It could be anything.
Sure.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, we were listening to Carly.
Yeah. Whatever it is, but it's not necessarily has to do with these artists, but I was listening to that genre and I just noticed something because back then I feel like a lot of the music was not independent. It was more so like label wise. So like production like was done by, I'm not saying producers are not good. Producers are very talented, but production maybe even on a very simple level was done by people who have produced like multi-gold, platinum records all consistently. Yeah. Like that was the people who were producing for the big artists on the radio, right? So I was just thinking, I'm like, the production sounds so different from now. I'm like, I wonder why that is. But I just started listening and I was like, dude, you know what I'm hearing? There's a certain level of intention with production that I noticed that goes well with artists, singers. Certain songs, the productions do not interfere with the vocal range of that singer. So the elements of like Drake, this is an amazing example about how Drake changed so many things within a modern context where they downsampled or like lowered the sample rate and whatever on the songs. Like that's how they got like that underwater effect or whatever. And his vocals were just in the forefront and everyone loved that. That's what gave it that signature Drake sound, right? And that's not necessarily the same thing that was happening back then, but I found that there was a lot less conflicting instruments and noise sounds that were going on production wise with the vocal. And I was like, dude, these sound super clean. these mixes sound clean, the production sound clean. And I think that enough producers don't think about that when they're creating music. You can create a super cool production, but it could be incredibly difficult for an artist to sing over that.
Yeah.
It could be really, or to get someone to rap over it or sing over it. It might not feel as good when there is vocals on it.
Yeah.
Why is that the case?
There's
no room.
I think the thing is that because we're working with independent producers now versus the 2000s, a lot of it is that you need to make an engaging beat for an artist to want to sing on
That's
it.
true.
So
That's true.
what you're going to be doing is putting too much in initially for the artist to go on and for them to feel interested.
Right.
And then you have no room for them later on. They're trying to fit into the beat when it's already finished.
Yeah.
Versus building the beat around the artist, which is something that
we do
literally struggling with.
Yeah, doing too much. It's like how much, it's 90%, 95% of a song is the artist.
Yeah.
It's not the production. You can enjoy a great production, but the artist made that song the song. And if the production is driving the song and the artist is not, in what instances is that a hit song?
Can I play my favorite example of the artist making the beat?
Yeah.
Listen. I'll see how much I get away with this and
just go to the best part.
Cutting that. It's at the beginning. You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see. I'm sure you've heard this. I might have already played this for you too.
Put it next.
Bitch, you thirsty, please grab Sprite. My crib's lurking, don't die tonight.
You hear how simple it is? Listen.
Just shuffle a song on your Spotify. I think that's what's so amazing about hip hop as well, dude.
You hear that? It's literally just it's
just
a pad and a sample.
Loop. Yeah. And some guy take the context take the context of the vocals out of the song. Would you even want that beat?
Yeah.
Many people be like, people be like, that's sick when they listen to it because that person made it sick.
They made it sick.
Yeah. But a lot of people would turn that down because they're like, what is this weird shit? You know what I mean? Like, but people, you have to see the artist makes a song. The artist makes a song. And I feel like overproducing and putting too many layers can be cool within certain genres and categories. And there are genres like that. And that is what people want and what people listen to. But I'm just saying, if you're working, within the pop, hip hop, R&B realm, a lot of the times your vocal performance and the song is made by the artist.
I think the hardest thing for a lot of producers is making something simple and sound good. I think that's the hardest thing in
it's quality samples, quality choices
any
of
art form.
instruments,
Honestly, it's just like making something good that's also simple, because you can throw 1,000 things on there and it can sound good to you, but like that's the problem we're having, is just like pulling back and making something that's good with 17 less layers.
If you, like you said though, like when the artist wants to be impressed with the beat, you can't go like you're 100% of the way, might be 60% of the way for them because it sounds 60% of the way done.
Yeah.
But the other 40% is the vocals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is so difficult to convey.
It was actually mind blowing to me the first time that I did that, where like I was just basically I was in the room with an artist and they were like, just do it for me. Like make the beat for me, do it all for me. And so I was like, look, I've done all I can. It's like maybe in my mind 30% there. And then I was like, go in the booth, just track vocals, we'll get something on it. And they started singing on it. I was like, let's get some doubles and harmonies down. Put the doubles and the harmonies in. I was like, holy shit, this song sounds done.
Done.
What just happened?
That's so crazy.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Like, it blew my mind. I was like, wow, I really was like, let me do another 5 hours of producing on this. And then it was like, no, with the doubles and the harmonies in, it sounds done. It was mind blowing to me. It's hard because like, that's what I want to do. Like that's where I want to go. We've already recognized that for ourselves that we need to be more simple.
Yeah, we say that all the time. It's so hard to get across.
But then like we get into an argument with an artist where like they want more. They want it to sound like this. They want more. And I'm like, look, we've already done more twice. Like what I want to do, what I thought we were going to do going into this was to be more simple. And so like that was but it's also very frustrating.
It might be on us where the simple things that we have might not be what they're looking for. Like they want a different simple. They want a bigger simple. They want it simple, but sounding more cinematic, let's say, like more dramatic, right?
Yeah.
Like, but if you have a lot of small elements, right, or a lot of like simple elements, and they're not getting the vibe of it, that artist is not getting the vibe of your music. Like that's fine.
Right.
You have to try something else. But overdoing it on the production phase can really bite you in the leg when it comes to post-production.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna have to make choices about cutting things out, and then the artist isn't gonna be happy because the song is just not gonna turn out good. And that happened with one of our songs. Even though I love the song, the mixing was actually so difficult for me that there were and it turned out cool. I wish it turned out differently, but it turned out really cool.
Easily the most complicated song we've ever made.
It's so many layers and so many post effects and sends, and like I can't believe we actually even released a song. Like it got done. You know, like I was working on it relentlessly. And yeah, like I said, I think that has to do and that I think is a sign of a mature producer. Knowing when to stop and when the vocals are going to take over, and knowing how to talk to your artists to get what they want and get what you want at the same time. Knowing how to communicate that and knowing how to show it on your production.
Sure.
That is a sign of a mature producer.
Oh, it's very difficult. And I think, in a way, if we expand it to all creative things, I think it's very similar with all art. I've noticed it a lot with photography too, where initially I was doing too much. Like with my editing, I was like, adding in all this stuff and like, masking certain things that would just in the edit that would just make it in my mind better, and then realizing that like, oh, like what this person actually wants is just like a light color grade on this photo, and they just want to look good. And it's like, learning how to step back and see things in a simpler way that just gets the job done.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That makes sense. Well, gets the job done for what they want. Like you give them what they want, right? It's not that's like the job done for you. Like you have that thought of, well, I got the job done, but you gave them what they wanted. Well, but for you, it's not what you would have done.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to say that like there's what for you gets the job done.
Right.
Is like you have a taste, and you have an expectation for what music is supposed to sound like,
right,
or what photography is supposed to look like, or what a movie is supposed to play like. And it's just like, sometimes what you're creating and your expectations are completely different. And I think learning how to balance the two and balance your taste and your expectations with what you're actually creating is it's very difficult.
And I like to think of all this stuff being said is like the creative has so much judgment, is so critical of their own work.
Yeah.
Right. And if you listen to Rick Rubin at all, maybe if you his audiobook is now on Spotify for free if you have Spotify Premium. If you want
free?
I believe I was listening to like the first chapter recently, yeah. But a lot of the message that he gets across is that the creative process is such a like internal spiritual thing that you can't interfere with creativity. It takes you somewhere and it goes somewhere, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? If you impede on it, if you judge it, if you criticize it, you're diminishing from the creativity. You have to cater environments, and this is just a message I get, right? I don't know word for word what he says or what he does. I'm just saying from what I've heard from his interviews and this and that. And it seems like his process is a lot of like being more hands off and allowing the creativity to happen and creating environments where it induces creativity, right? And we're talking about like getting the job done and doing this and doing that, and like, but when you get, and that's why I was talking about mixing with feeling, right? Rather than mixing with eyes and mixing with, mixing with what you see, because you feel when things are done, but your eyes can deceive you to tell you that there's more to be done, right? So if you see like a spiking frequency, be like, I can't be done now. I have to tame that frequency, right? Like that's going all over the place. Or I don't know how it would work with photography, right? Or with movies, but like, how do you get the feeling that something is going? You have to trust the feeling that you have that something's going in the right direction, rather than being critical of yourself and being like, I'm comparing myself to this and I'm comparing. No, art is for the sake of art. Creativity is for the sake of creativity. You have to let it go where it's going.
Yeah.
And it might not be going where you wanted it to go in that moment.
Yeah.
But you still have to let it go there. It's
Yeah.
going there for a reason. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's hard accepting all those things when you have an agenda in mind.
Right.
When you have an agenda, you're fighting against yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, I think ultimately, to tie it back in, the hardest thing is when your creativity is taking you in a direction that is different from the artist.
Yeah.
And you have to sit there in the room with the artist, and your creativity is going in one direction and the artist's creativity is going in another direction. And it, like, finding the balance there is really difficult.
Human experience. You have to learn how to empathize and give people what they want.
Here's the lasting thought. Quit right now.
Quit right now. It's not worth it.
Give up. Oh man, dude, that was a chaotic episode.
I'm down to cut out.
No.
70% of it.
Here's what I think we need to do. I think we just take literally a handful of spaghetti. Let's cut the podcast. Take an actual handful of spaghetti and throw it at the wall. No, but I think we just have to, throw all these things at the wall, see what sticks, what people resonate with, because, like, I think there's a lot of avenues to go with here. Do you have any lasting thoughts?
My brain is mush.
All right, I have one. You know why? Because I have the mind of a god. I get so sad when I listen to a good song, even if it's like, not a sad song.
Yeah.
Or specifically for me, what it's been recently is watching a really good movie.
Right.
Because I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And I want to have a hand in creating something that good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, I'm never going to get there.
It's not true.
I know, but that's what I think.
I know.
That's my irrational mind.
I'd be
It's
like,
like,
damn, I'd love to be a part of something that good.
it's like, can we roll back time? I want to make Band of Brothers.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
But
that's
like
true.
that's
it is hard
that's something that
I think that's what I was getting at too. It's like comparing yourself, having an agenda, going in
Yeah.
a certain direction. Like you might be fighting with yourself like the entire time trying to get that across. And I remember it's funny because when you were making beats for nobody, and you as in like whoever's the listener is, when you're making beats for nobody and you're just in your room and you had GarageBand and you were having a blast.
Yeah.
That is the most fun you could remember having beats. And like you listen back to your beats, be like, this was shit. Like, why was it shit? Did you enjoy it? Did it serve what you wanted it to serve? You know what I mean? And now like just doing too much.
Listen. Let me tie this back in, because I think that the way that I look at art now, and I, when I watch Alfonso Cuarón's Children of Men and I go, I want to make this, like I want to be a part of this. I think we are setting unrealistic expectations for ourselves. Legitimately, what we need to do is find a way to just accept that what we're creating is what we're creating. And I think that's the issue with doing too much. Because when you want to hit that level, when you want to make a song as good as Dua Lipa's Pretty Please, that's a song right there.
Dua Lipa's a goat.
When you want to make a song that good, you're pushing to this level, but you're going down the wrong street, brother, because that shit was simple, right? They just made what they made. Does that make sense? Like, no one was going into it thinking like, oh, I'm gonna make someone else's movie.
Right.
I'm gonna make someone else's song.
But although I think those professional producers have a vision in mind for certain artists, and they can execute it because they're so good.
Sure.
But
I'm saying,
let's not make someone else's movie is the greatest like analogy you can make.
But I'm saying, like, I'll sit there in the room with an artist and have them go, I want it to be this song.
Yeah, it's never gonna.
And it's never gonna be that song. I cannot get any song to be that song.
Yeah.
Right? And then like I'm throwing on the fucking tractor trying to get it there, and it's like I'm losing it. I'm losing the plot. And it's hard for me. But even to let go of what it means for me personally, because it's one thing if an artist tells me it, it's another if I think it. It's another to think like, I want to be a part of this movie. I just watched Yee Yee. I want to make Yee Yee. It's like, no, what I need to do is accept that I'm not going to make that, but I'm going to make what I'm going to make.
Yeah.
That's my lasting thought.
It's like the 5 stages of grieving.
Yeah, right. I think I went through them all. Let's roll it back. Go point them out.
He's just agreeing on this podcast, yelling, laughing, crying. No, that's cool, man. Yeah, I agree. I think, fuck, man. I hope sometimes you think like the things that you're saying, do they only make sense in your head when you're saying them out loud? Do they make sense? Is anyone gonna be able to relate to anything I said? But I think it's cool. I hope if you're listening.
Dude, I love that the episodes get longer and longer and longer every time.
This one we were really just winging it, and I think we're gonna cut out a lot. But if you want to reach out to us with any topics or suggestions or things to talk about, controversial things, maybe ideas, my Instagram handle is mixing.waves, mixing, conventional mixing spelling, .waves, WAVS.
Sorry, so what is that? MIKS? MICKSING?
Mix MICKS. Mixing.waves. And then
mine is Obscure Machi. Dude, we never said who we were at the beginning. We were supposed to say our names. You're Narag, I'm Machi. Hopefully you know that by now, our dedicated and loyal and wonderful audience. My Instagram is Obscure Machi, OBSCUREMATCHI.
we don't have to introduce ourselves.
What do you mean?
This is TalkBox. This is TalkBox. You came and got what you got.
TalkBox.
This is TalkBox. That's gonna cut in, right? That's just gonna be like something with fucking cut in there.
You expect so much of me in these edits.
No, I know, but we didn't sing the song, so the song has to be inputted with like a little
short. That was going at the beginning.
Oh yeah. I hope you enjoyed that if you were watching. We put a lot of effort. We put a lot of effort into that. This is TalkBox.
Oh man. Is that it? If you enjoyed this, and you're watching this on YouTube, which you should be, drop a like. I don't even know what we're supposed to do.
Do we have to tell people to? I think there's a statistic that like if you tell people to subscribe and like it, they will.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so we should.
Yeah, I guess we should.
I think
I don't want you to feel obligated to though.
Yeah, you know what? Only if you think that this was good. But you should.
You know what? You should only like and leave reviews on the episode you guys enjoyed.
Yeah. But that should be every episode.
As expected.
Are we generic Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee?
Are you calling me?
You're Andrew Santino.
White?
Yeah.
I'm Caucasian. Should we get into that?
No. Oh, man. That was good. I feel like we got a lot across there, especially at the end. I was really peering into the void for that last part, that lasting thought. Is that it?
I guess so.
Good work today.
Good work.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed watching this or listening to this, leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Music or Spotify Podcasts, actually, or YouTube, where you can leave a like and subscribe and smash that.
Are you dumb, bro?
Notification bell. I want you to fucking destroy it. I want you to.
We'll invest in new laptops for everybody. Go fund me. Just destroy your fucking laptop on that notification button.
It's so terrible. None of that's happening. That is not actually happening. Thank you so much for listening. And a yalla bye.
Wait, let's do like the Super Saiyan thing.
No.
Come on.
Yalla bye.
Oh, it is like this.
You
right?
don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yalla bye.